Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bad for Baseball, the baddest baseball podcast on the internet, presented to you by Betway. I'm your host, Adam Paddle, and today we're breaking down the sixth worst team in the MLB last year, the Washington Nationals. Woo! This is an exciting squad, everybody. I mean, I'm starting to get into these tiers of all these breakdowns of maybe there could be something here, and there might be a little bit something here for these Nationals, but are they good enough to compete in that NL East? We're going to break it down and more. Before we do, hit that like button, subscribe to Bad for Baseball if you're watching on our YouTube channel. Last year, those Nats, I mean, they had a fun season. I'll say that. Like, they weren't a necessarily walkover team like they used to be in the past. They brought up some of these young guys. You know, those trades years ago when they got rid of Max Scherzer and Juan Soto. We're starting to see all those guys starting to come up right now, and they came up halfway through the year. What can they do in a full season with the Washington Nationals? But first, let's take a look at who they lost and who they got in. First off, they signed back Trevor Williams. That's good. They needed a little bit more starting pitching depth, so that's great. They got Jacob Barnes, right-handed pitcher. They lost Jacob Barnes, right-handed pitcher, to the Toronto Blue Jays. They lost Vargas to Arizona on a minor league deal. Here's the thing. They also lost Joey Gallo. They lost Tanner Rainey. These are all minor league guys except for Trevor, who they obviously signed back. They finally got rid of Patrick Corbin. His contract expired. They needed to get rid of that guy. Kyle Finnegan's still unsigned. Kind of shocked about that, actually. But right now, so far, they don't have him as of recording this video. Matt Barnes as well. Kind of shocked as well that no one's signing him. But those guys are gone. Honestly, there's a lot to gain by losing Patrick Corbin. You free up all that space. But honestly, Kyle Finnegan should be a dude that they should be getting back. If you're a National fan, let me know why that's not happening, because that's kind of shocking to me. And then who they got? They traded for Nathaniel Lowe. Look at that. That was a big under-the-radar trade. They put him right in the middle of that lineup, and things start to look a little bit different. They go and they get some depth pieces on their bench. Paul DeYoung, he's been bouncing around for a little bit. They got him, infielder. Ahmed Rosario, another infielder / outfielder. They bring him in this past January to come off the bench. They go fill out that rotation a little bit, bring over Michael Soroka, who had a very disappointing year over there in Chicago. Wow. And then they did a lot to their bullpen. They got Jorge Lopez. I like that move quite a lot. They got him from the Chicago Cubs. Lucas Sims they bring over from the Boston Red Sox. Colin Poche, he's a non-roster invitee. Maybe he makes the roster. Evan Reifert, Rule 5 pick, and they purchase, I'm going to butcher this name, Shinosuke Ogasawara. Wow, I butchered that completely. Sorry, y'all. But they really are trying to fix up this bullpen. And honestly, maybe add Kyle Finnegan in here and things start to look a little bit different. Those are the things going out, and those are the things going in. Honestly, the big one for me is adding that guy, Nathaniel Lowe. Lau, is it Lowe or Lau? It's Lowe. Some of the Lows have it pronounced Lau. This is a Lowe, but he is definitely not low on my totem pole. He's pretty high. Batting .265 last year with an OPS 762. This was an underrated trade, honestly. They got him for another 2 years. He's going to be a free agent in 2027. Quite a guy to bring over, honestly. You kind of forget that this guy's already had like a great career. Maybe I say that ignorantly because I haven't been paying too much attention to this guy's career, and honestly, time flies by so fast. But he's been very solid, very consistent. In the past, he's been able to give you some pretty dang good years. Won a Silver Slugger back in 2022, won a Gold Glove in 2023. That's what I like to do. Give me a Silver Slugger and Gold Glover right in the middle of that lineup. And that's the big thing for these Washington Nationals. I think their strength right here has got to be that offense that was 16th in average, 17th on base, 25th in OPS, but not too bad. Didn't have a lot of home run power, but they were first in stolen bases. Man, can they swipe that bag? That's pretty exciting, right? You take a look over here at who stole those bases. C.J. Abrams, that's the dude that I like. That's got to be your rock. That's got to be your cornerstone for these, San Diego Padres, for these Washington Nationals. 31 stolen bases, 20 home runs he hit last year. That's a 20-30 guy right there. That's your rock in today's baseball with the new stolen base rules. You got to have that guy pop off just a little bit. Then you bring up Dylan Cruz, making his debut last year. Just a little bit, just a cup of coffee at the big league level. He's your number one prospect. What could he do over the full 162? Obviously it didn't look good. He had an OPS 641, but you're not giving up on this guy. This guy's still 23 years old. Can this guy be a little bit of an exciting, spark plug to that team? Then you got James Wood, the other San Diego Padre that you got from the San Diego Padres in that Juan Soto deal. He came up and he was pretty exciting last year, y'all. I'm not going to lie. I'm buying in and I'm drinking the James Wood Kool-Aid. 781 OPS, batting average of 264. And again, playing that now modern baseball with the stolen bases, 14 stolen bases, 9 home runs. He's got power. Let's see if he can unlock it a little bit this year. But he's definitely got the wheels. That's exciting. This Washington National team is going to steal bases, and that's why they're all up there. And then you bring it in with Nathaniel Lowe. That's awesome. Josh Bell still there. I like me some Josh Bell. He's very reliable and consistent. He had a 603 plate appearances last year. That's what I'm talking about. Stay healthy, King. Then you follow that with Luis Garcia. Keibert Ruiz, remember, he used to be a really top catching prospect. Kind of a down year last year. Not good with the WAR. We'll see if he can bounce back. Jose Tina, Jacob Young. This is a solid, exciting lineup. Maybe I will track the statement solid because there's no one you can really probably bank on other than Lowe. You know what you're going to get from Bell. Maybe Abrams, you're starting to buy in a little bit. What now he's done 2 years of service time. You're starting to see what he could potentially be. But this lineup has a lot of upside. Even last year with a lot of guys coming up midway through the year, because you had 16 in average, 17th in on-base percentage. What can you do? What can you do with a full year of all these guys? Can these guys be something, and can they get a little bit exciting and steal a lot of bases on the base paths, right? And then obviously you got some depth on that bench. I buy into all that. I think the Nationals, in a division where you've got the Atlanta Braves, very good pitching staff. Phillies, very, very good pitching staff. Mets, that pitching staff will be seen this year if Steve Cohen pieced together enough to help Juan Soto. But, you got to be able to go up against the best, and that's how they're going to have to win games. Marlins, not so much of a good pitching staff there. Can they get some wins off of those guys and beat them up a little bit, right? I'm kind of bought in. I'm kind of bought into what I'm seeing here. Now moving over to the starting rotation, this is where the questions come in. This is what makes them not a playoff team or maybe a fringe playoff team. Mackenzie Gore. He's been here for a while. He came over again in that San Diego Padre trade. He's been decent. I mean, again, not exceptional, but is he starting to blossom into what San Diego was hoping he would be? 166 innings now. That's the career high he's had. Career low in ERA. Not career low in WHIP, but still 1.4 WHIP. He's got some command issues, it looks like. The walk, 65 to 181 strikeouts. Not the greatest ratio, but he has also had 14 wild pitches. He led the league in wild pitches. Wow, would you look at that? Led all of MLB in wild pitches. I didn't even look at that stat before recording this. Yes, he's not the ace. He honestly, at a good team, he's like your third or fourth guy. But that's where the problems again lie. Jake Irvin, he can eat you some innings. 187 innings, 4.41. Again, middle reliever, not a top end number 2 that they're projecting right here. Mitchell Parker, that guy came up for 1 year of service time. Again, what are we seeing? 151 innings last year. That's pretty good. Again, 429. Had a WAR of 2.4. That's pretty exciting, but again, just the WAR is coming from the amount of innings that you're eating. Again, back end guy. Trevor Williams. He only pitched 66 innings last year in 13 starts and was pretty decent. He came over a couple of years ago from New York Mets. Are you gonna stretch that guy out? Is he gonna stay healthy? And then Michael Soroka again. That guy's barely a rotational guy at this point in his career. The rotation is it's lackluster. It's full of guys who are like back end rotation guys, and this is where they're gonna get in a lot of trouble. Even if the offense does pop off, is this rotation gonna be good enough to get you through the season? Are they gonna be healthy enough to get you through the season? That's always a question because you got those top 3. I like those top 3 in terms of eating innings. But then Trevor Williams, and Michael Soroka. What are you going to get from those guys? So that huge question marks right there. I don't love it. And again, you look at the starting pitchers last year, 23rd in ERA, 24th in WHIP. just, bottom feeders there. And they look at the relief pitchers last year. They were also on the bottom of the league as well, in the bottom 10. However, they actually addressed that quite a bit. Bringing in Jorge Lopez, dude, that guy's going to step in and be your closer. I like that a lot, man. He had an ERA of 2.86. Let's see what he had in terms of whip for these guys. They actually don't have the whip up here, which is very shocking. But Jorge Lopez, can that guy step in and be a legitimate closer for these guys? I like it. And then I'm looking all up and down this bullpen. It's a lot of question marks, man. A lot of question marks. I don't really know what I'm going to get from, the guy in the bottom there, the guy I can't pronounce, Oga Sawara. This Rule 5 pick, Evan Reifer, they're banking on some breakouts there. Colin Posh is not even on the 40-man roster. There's a ton of question marks going on right here. The pitching staff is going to be a problem, and that is why, until they address that or they get some breakouts, that is why this Nationals team is going to be very, very questionable to me. And I don't necessarily know if they're ever going to step in and be that wild card team yet. That maybe they break out and do something that I'm not expecting, but I just don't. I can't really bank on them. However, their over-under line is kind of enticing everybody. Let's give a quick shout out to Betway right here. Hit your picks and knock it out of the park with Betway. Scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the details section to join the action. Must be 19 years old to participate. Available in Ontario only. Please play responsibly. The over-under is 71.5. The last three ones we've had have all been 71.5 according to Betway. However, they are slightly favoriting the over. I understand that. The under is 1.9. However, they won 71 games last year. Are they one win better? With a full season of this offense, I think so. The pitching staff looks the exact same to me, honestly. There's not much difference here, and there might be some positive progression going on with the pitching staff. Maybe the bullpen's a little bit better, like adding in the back end guy. I like it. I mean, one win? That's it? They go trade for Nathaniel Lowe? There's your win right there. If the pitching staff remains the same with some positive and negative regressions, the offense you got to assume is going to step up. Nathaniel Lowe, that's a guy. I would say that this team is one win better, and that's why it's favorited. So I am going to be taking the over on this Washington Nationals. But you guys let me know in the comments down below. Are you taking the over or the under on the Washington Nationals? And is there anything that I missed? Please hit the like button, subscribe to Bad for Baseball on our YouTube channel, and we'll catch you next time.